From Tobacco Republic in Loomis, California, the Loomis Cigar Cartel presents Beyond the Humidor, a cigar podcast for the rest of us. Well, all right, welcome back. Scott Robinson with you here on Beyond the Humidor for episode 44 of our Enchanted Donkey Ride. I've got, as always, Larry and Greg by my side here. Greg, how's it going?
Why's it got to be a donkey, man?
Hey, I just got random, so...
Random my ass, no pun intended.
Hey, man, leave your ass out of this.
It's going good. It's going good. It's a good day, good cigars, good friends. You know, can't be bad at all.
Right on, and good scotch.
Well, I wouldn't know about that. How about you, Larry?
It's been a great morning. You know, breakfast as usual before the show. Went a little, splurged a little bit on the cigar this morning for the show. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good day.
Nice.
Well, while we're at it, Greg, why don't you introduce our guest who we got on the phone today?
So our phone guest today is the one and only dubious or friendly, depending on your choice. Worked for the railroad, became a cigar smoker on the day he retired, and has been smoking with us for about a year. Ladies and gentlemen, from Cigars, that's spelled S-E-A-R, Palace, in the beautiful Ziegfeld room of Parma, Idaho, which is in the middle of nowhere, by the way, Mr. Tommy the Chainsaw Elledge.
Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome and salutations from Parma, Idaho.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure being with you guys. I've been looking forward to talking with you on the show, and I think we've got a great subject today.
Oh, most
I think
definitely.
so, too. How is the land of the free, by the way?
Land of the Free is most excellent. What impressed me most moving out here is people are friendly. They actually smile and wave, and they're sincere when they do it.
Is that before or after they know you're from California?
It's kind of funny because, and Greg can tell you the story about it, when they find out that you're not here to try to change what they got for their life, they don't care where you're from, as long as you're cool.
Oh, there we go. That's a plus then.
It's a big plus, and I've made some really nice neighbors and met a lot of really nice people, and I'm just absolutely loving that out here.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
We took one of Greg's responsibilities away from him this episode. He's not controlling the camera. We have our very own camera monkey. Hey there, camera monkey.
That's a big goddamn monkey.
Wow. He knows American Sign Language, too.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. Well, hey, let's get into it, what we're drinking and what we're smoking. Let's give it to our guest. What are you smoking today, Tommy?
Well, today I wasn't able to get the cigar of the month out here in Idaho, but at my local humidor, the Vault over in Meridian, I was able to find and was gifted by one of the patrons a Don Pepin Garcia Original Lancero. It's a Coloro Obscuro wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler, 5.5 inch long with a 38 ring gauge. It's a full cigar in a Lancero shape, handmade using 100% Nicaraguan tobacco. The cigar features an extra oily, cinnamon-colored Corojo wrapper. This is a full-bodied cigar with a unique composition and blend where zesty notes of leather and cedar accompany a melody of hot pepper. It's an average 93 on the Cigar Aficionado magazine and has been included in the top 25 cigars of the year. My drink of choice, because I am allergic to alcohol, I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper.
Hey, whatever works, whatever works. Hey, Greg, what are you smoking?
So I went with an old standby today. You know, so many different options, and the sad part is we recorded the show last week, and I can't remember what the cigar of the month was.
Wow.
What was it?
The Chupacabra.
That's what it is, the Chupacabra. So I went with an old standby, and it's one that, you know, all of us really enjoy, including Tommy. I've got the Leaf by Oscar. I chose the Sumatra this time.
Okay.
You know, much like what you're smoking today, this particular manufacturer, it's very hard to go wrong with an Oscar because their construction is flawless. The smoke just billows out of the cigar. It really is a pleasant one. And Sumatra, as most of our listeners will know, is one of my favorite leaves, you know, between the Sumatra, the Corojo, and the Cameroon. So, you know, it's a great stick. And any more drinking today, and I'm going to be floating at this point.
How about you, Larry?
I pulled out an old standard too, and I haven't smoked one of these in a while. I have a Ashton Cabinet Pyramid. The white burgundy of cigars is what Ashton calls this.
Okay.
And Ashton is they promote their stuff, market their stuff a little different than a lot of manufacturers. They talk more about the process from seed to leaf than they do about combining the tobaccos, rolling and stuff. Their big claim is that they do a better job seed to leaf than a lot of other manufacturers. So the tobacco for these is 4 to 5 years old before it's rolled, and it's all Dominican tobacco, binder leaf and everything. With a torpedo, you get a really nice cut with it, so you have a good draw. It's a big taste. It's smooth. It's not real heavy, but it's definitely big flavor right out of the gate, and it stays that way through the whole cigar. I really like these, and I don't smoke them as often as I should. But if you haven't had Ashton stuff, especially the lighter, the Connecticut stuff, if you see one at your local brick and mortar, definitely try one out, because you'll be happy you did.
Nice. I myself, I got a little gift from Greg this morning at breakfast. He knows I'm a big fan of Illusion, and he provided me with an Illusion Cruzado Morelas Supremas.
Here he goes with the Honduran again.
It is not Honduran, it's Nicaragua. Thank you very much.
Nicaraguan.
Screw you both. I can't say enough good things about the Illusion line. I mean, Dion Giolito is the man when it comes to cigars. All his cigars are my go-to. This is no exception. This is Toro 109 size with a 52 ring gauge, 6.5 inches. The wrapper is, of course, Nicaraguan Criollo Rosado.
Congratulations.
Damn, nailed it.
Goddamn right. And, the rest of the cigar, binder, filler, it is all Nicaraguan all the time. The initial, and, I smoke this cold because usually I like to smoke one before the show and then one during the show and not do it cold. But I did this one cold, did, a little bit of reading because this was a surprise, a very nice surprise. And the initial draw, once lit, according to the review, I'm going to call it masculine notes, leather, saddle, or whatever the case may be, but it's a very smooth taste. It's a big taste without being big, if that makes any sense. Whereas people will give you the specific taste, and we've talked about this, and I've said this a million times every time I talk about cigars. We talk about what relates to us. So your mileage is going to vary, but I can tell you just overall general taste, it's a very smooth. It's not creamy. It's got really masculine notes to it, but it's smooth without the big, huge punch. I would call this a medium. This is not light, but it's not going to be on the other end of the spectrum either, whereas it's just this strong, powerful punch. This is just a nice cigar to have after, a good little meal with some Macallan 12. Well, everything goes good with Macallan 12, but that's me, a borderline alcoholic, but alas. But no, in all seriousness, very good stuff. This was released back in 2013, and I believe they've been discontinued. Or are they still around?
Well, I can still get them. The Vault has them, and Dion has them, of course, at Fumari. So I don't know if they've been discontinued or not, but,
And I definitely got to check this out. This is what I would call, on my scale of 1 to take your ass to flavor country, this is a 9.8, 9.9. It's a very solid cigar, and I would call this box worthy.
High praise for
Not bad.
Mr. Robinson.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So let's get into the topic du jour for this week. We all do a little bit of traveling, and
And remember,
yes, sir.
Denver is this weekend.
Yes.
The weekend's well.
That's right.
Don't look at me like it's paused. Remember, we're recording a week early. So
No,
for all of
no.
you, Denver's this
I
weekend.
got it. No, I got you.
Denver's this weekend.
No. It registered when you said it. It registered as soon as I saw. When I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, because we're recording this a week ahead. But in all our travels, we all bring cigars with us wherever we go. For us frequent cigar smokers, and for some of the newbies out there or intermediate cigar smokers, questions come about on how to travel with cigars. There is a specific method to madness when traveling with cigars. So the biggest thing, of course, is the proper storage of said cigars, because you can't just throw them in your suitcase and, expect them to be in decent condition. Because let's remember, this is a handcrafted artisanal product, and it's very, very fragile. It's not glass, but it's fragile nevertheless. Nothing sucks more than having a good cigar with, torn up leaf because it's been rattling around and whatnot because you put it in between your T-shirts.
Or for that matter, it's improperly humidified too.
That's another big one.
Yeah.
Because, some people, and this is just a generalized thing, if you don't know any better, you grab your cigars from the lounge, and usually a cigar shop worth their salt, including this one, will put them in a plastic bag for you with a water pillow. Mm-hmm. But humidification is the most important thing. That water pillow is not going to last forever. So you have to make sure the cigar is properly humidified, because, again, there's nothing worse than taking out a cigar that you pay good money for that's dry.
Yep.
So there's methods to make sure that your cigars stay, properly humidified. These folks aren't paying me, but I'm going to give them a shout out anyway, just because, for the sake of cigar smokers out there, you can do what's called a poor man's humidor, which is basically a Boveda pack in a baggie.
Or even a Tupperware container.
Yeah. Baggies work out better. You can do Tupperware, but it's, you're talking about a Tupperware box, trying to shove that into your suitcase. It's taking up space. But the one good thing about those are it's hard, for all intents and purposes. It's a hard case, so something slinging against it is not gonna, hurt the cigar.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have them in a plastic bag, you can still, take possibility of crushing your cigar or having them knock around each other. But there's ways to mitigate that.
There is. And, the biggest thing, which will come up later in the program, is definitely especially for going to Denver, is air travel. But
we'll get to that.
I want to take a little bit of time and talk to our guest on the show, because, the old man and I have been doing a lot of traveling over the past 6 to 8 months of him relocating from communist territory to freedom. A lot of 9.5-hour drives between here and Idaho to relocate. And, Tommy, you brought up some really good points. So why don't you take us into the traveling by car?
Oh, great. I'd love to talk to you about traveling by car or pickup truck pulling horse trailers with horses and carriages, which, by the way, Greg has learned how to drive a truck and trailer.
Yeah, scary, I know, and drive something alive in the back of the trailer, too.
Yes, and alive. Yeah, you got the pleasure of driving Ben and Jerry out, giving me a hand on that. One thing that you have to remember in driving by car or truck, by automobile or vehicle, drive the darn vehicle. That is, utmost paramount. In every state, you might be able to smoke. In a lot of states, there's 11 states you can smoke everywhere. There's a lot of states that have a lot of restrictions. But the main thing is you can still be arrested for distracted driving. If you aren't paying attention to what you're doing, you can be pulled over and you can be arrested.
I'd like to see that one hold up in court. What were you doing? Smoking a cigar? By the way, Judge, I brought you a Cuban.
I like that. That's
At that
great
point,
idea.
I would be in the gallery going, I suggest a nightstick, officer. Just a suggestion.
Shoot him now or wait till we get home. Shoot him now. Shoot him now.
He's got a gun!
Oh, that's another show out here. But the important thing is pay attention to what you're doing. What I found out driving solo a lot Well, let me step back a little bit. The best way to travel with a friend. Have somebody who also enjoys smoking cigars with you. They can do all the prep work. They can, do the lighting for you. They can touch up your cigar, and you can pay attention to what you're doing, especially when you're driving with trucks and trailers, because you got a big ass machine going down the road. They're not going to stop, like your sports car or your Mercedes or your BMW. They're going to take a while, so you have to be very, very objective in your defensive driving and having attention paid to what you're doing. But running solo, you have to know exactly where everything is. What I've done is pre-planned what cigars am I going to smoke on my trip. Am I going to smoke 2? Am I going to smoke 3? Know your cigars. Know how they're going to burn. If you're going to have trouble with a cigar that has a history of canoeing or tunneling where you're going to end up smoking or touch up a lot when you're smoking, try to stay away from those, if you can. But know your cigar that you want to smoke. When you're toasting your cigar, of course, you can have your hand on the wheel. You're toasting the end of the cigar. Look over the cigar. You can see out of your peripheral vision what you're doing. And when you're lighting, try to keep one hand on the wheel. Put the cigar in your mouth, one hand on the wheel, and light your cigar. Careful not to drop ash in your lap and stuff. And that brings another point. Your cigar ashtray. Of course, a lot of vehicles have ashtrays, but I recommend the X-Car or the little stinky container. Have that in a location where when you rest your arm and your arm comes down, the cigar is going to go right in there. It's almost like a muscle retention, so that you know exactly where it's going to go. I know a lot of guys love to have ash on their cigar. When you're driving, ash is your enemy. It gets caught between the seats with all that junk in there between your seat and the hump. You're going to start a fire.
You know what? On that note, and I just want to mention, because you brought up something really good there, Tommy, regarding ash. There is a segment of the cigar population that's done this, and I've been guilty of this as well, is if you don't have an ashtray, you let the ash fly out the window. You'll have your open window, putting air into your car so your
smoke clears.
Yeah, so the smoke clears and your car doesn't smell like an ashtray, if you will, or smell like old cigars. Depending on where you are, the geography. Here in California, we're a giant tinderbox at this point because we get no water. So just a note out there, be very cognizant of where your ash is going. Not a huge deal if, you're on a freeway and it's all concrete, or you're driving in the mountains with a whole bunch of dry brush, that ash is going to start a fire.
Yep.
So that's
somewhere. Just don't hang it out the window.
Right. And, honestly, rule of thumb, you really shouldn't hang it out the window anyway. It's a little discourteous and being a douche, but we've all been guilty of it.
What are we talking about hanging out the window, boys?
Whoa. Hey.
Really, Greg?
Really?
Do you want to die?
Pills are better, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I suggest pills.
Okay. Well, and you bring up a couple interesting points, Tommy, because that's what you and I were doing on the trips is, whoever's in the passenger seat is the cigar bitch.
That's correct.
They're lighting, they're cutting, if need be.
Touching up.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
that's what that passenger's there to help you to enjoy the trip.
So did you wear your favorite cigar dress on the trip, Greg?
Yes, I did.
Did you tip him, Tommy?
I apparently should have looked closer at the production notes for this episode. Wow.
Just a wee bit.
And
well, the one thing that we found that even when you got somebody with you, if you prep your cigars before you start your trip, it just you can stick it back in your pack, you can stick it back in your travel humidor. It's ready to go.
Yeah, it's one less tool you got to deal with.
Yes,
so that's real smart.
And Tommy had a great idea on this last trip that we made when we took the boys over the mountain.
I stole that from my granddaughter.
Did you actually steal the pencil box from your granddaughter?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
She gave it to me.
Thief.
Explains the My Little Pony.
But he had in the side pocket on the door, of course, it's on the passenger seat when there's no one there, but he had a pencil box with the cutter, the lighter, a pick, everything. It was convenient all in one place. If you're like us, where we're on the road a lot, it was a great idea.
Well, in that pencil box, what was nice is that I was able to take a Ziploc bag with a Bovita pack, have 3 or 4 cigars, tuck the top in, put it in the main body, and then it had a little lid that I was able to keep all my implements, my lighter, my cutter, my pick. And it was separate from the cigars, but they were all in one place. Mm-hmm. And if you can't find something like that, use a small basket or even a cake pan, a short-sided cake pan.
A loaf pan.
You want it, a loaf pan. You just don't want stuff floating around. You want to be able to just reach over, grab what you need, use it, put it right back.
Or especially a cigar box.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, an old cigar box, exactly.
And there you go.
Especially when you panic stop and everything goes flying.
Well, that's what's nice because it's only all in one place.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You have to remember to close the lid.
Yeah. Now, I haven't done this, and I don't think Tommy has. I don't even think Larry has. So, Scott, you'd be the expert on this one. Traveling by ship.
All right, I got some little tidbits of advice for you. Because the cruise lines have adopted this no smoking policy throughout most of their ship, they kind of relegate it to like very specific isolated locations to avoid the other cruise folks to inhale said smoke. I usually look for a ship that has a cigar lounge. Otherwise, you're going to be relegated to what happened to me on one of my trips when I was in Puerto Rico.
You have to ride in the poop deck.
No, it sucks rocks because basically they had you on the side deck. I mean, and you're there with the cigarette smokers, and it's just really uncomfortable. It's like maybe one bench, and it just, generally sucks rocks. You feel like you're mainlining heroin, because It's like they just kind of put you over to the side, and you're all isolated. I mean, it was just horrible. Now, when I went to Alaska on one cruise, they actually had a cigar lounge and full bar. Now, that's awesome because you have all your implements there and you can sit back, relax, and smoke in in comfortable surroundings that you're used to. Mm-hmm. And then when, I think 2 years ago when I went out to Mexico, they had a cigar bar and, a phone where you could call the bar and they would bring drinks in to you. But I'll say this, if you can avoid it, do not. And, I think the cruise lines are going to put a hit out on me for me saying this, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I would not bother unless you are in desperate times and you have no cigars. I would not buy them from the cruise line because you're going to pay a premium. If you can avoid it, bring your own cigars with you. There's no rule saying that you can't bring cigars with you. So bring as many as you think you're going to smoke. If you're going to a port where there's a good cigar lounge, and I've said this on previous podcasts before, if you happen to be in Mexico and there's some cat selling cigars on the beach or on the street or what have you, and they're Cohibas in a glass case, don't bother. I mean, unless you just want the fun and novelty of like, ooh, look what I got from Mexico. Those are not authentic Cubans because Cohiba does not make cases with glass on top. It just doesn't happen. And, as far as buying Cubans off the street, I'm just going to tell you, you're a grade A moron. You're probably not smoking. You're not smoking Cubans. I mean, I'm saying moron as in if you have the expectation of actually buying Cubans off the street, that's highly unlikely. You're getting counterfeits, definitely.
You're like this. Hey, man, check out what's in my trunk.
What's with the accent, Tattoo?
That's the best I could do.
Never let it be said he didn't do the best he could do. Scott, a quick question, because I've heard from a couple other people. How do you feel the quality, set the price aside, how do you feel the quality of the cigars off of a cruise ship? Are they taking care of them? Are they properly humidified? Because a couple of comments that I've heard from people is that they're not.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're usually just in a glass case. And as far as humidification goes, I didn't see anything humidifying the cigars.
Splash a little
passive.
seawater in every once in a while and call it good.
No passive or active system at all.
I didn't see one. I could be wrong. And hey, listeners, chime out if I'm wrong. Please tell me. But when I looked at the cigars in the case, it was a very, when I say limited, probably maybe 3 or 4 brands. There were probably all together. Maybe you had 10 choices if you're lucky. And, the cigars themselves weren't bad. They were from reputable cigar houses, but they're just not maintained. It's not really a priority for the cruise line to maintain, said cigars. It's just not a thing. But, if you are, in an emergency and you're jonesing for a cigar, yeah, sure thing. But I would rather get my cigars from a port of call or bring my own, because usually that's not an issue. And if you do, of course, again, we've talked about this, but for those of you who haven't heard previous podcasts, if you're going abroad, it's the same thing as fur and jewelry. If you don't know fur or jewelry, know your jeweler, know your furrier, know your tobacconist. When you're abroad, talk to friends. Casa Habano's cigar stores abroad, you're definitely going to get authentic Cubans. And you're going to pay a little bit for them, but you can bet your life that those are real Cubans. And there's a couple of houses in the Caribbean that are non-Casa Habanos that are reputable. I actually chanced upon a friend in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, and I know he gets authentic Cubans. That was a part of Cuban liberation about 4 years ago. 5 years ago.
But yeah.
Yeah, but he gets his stuff from Cuba. I pay a little bit for it, but I know for a fact that I'm getting authentic Cubans. Now, here's the thing. Guy came when I was in Mexico. I was in the cigar lounge. Cat comes in really happy and pleased with himself because, we're talking cigars. He says, yeah, I picked up some Cubans. I said, oh, cool. Where'd you get them from? Oh, this guy on the beach was selling them. And I looked at him, and he could tell by the look on my face, he was just like, these aren't real Cubans, are they? You're going to tell me these aren't real Cubans. And I said, hold on. Do you enjoy smoking them? Yes or no? Well, they're good. Okay. Then that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But I can tell you they're not real Cubans, but it's still, you can still come across some counterfeits that are, that are good.
They're decent tobacco, yeah.
Yeah, it's good tobacco.
It's just not what's advertised. That doesn't mean it's not good.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just not Cuban, and you're paying a premium thinking you're getting Cuban, but you're not. You're just paying Cuban prices for a non-Cuban cigar. And you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because, there's some Mexican cigar houses that do a pretty damn good cigar, to be perfectly honest with you. And, that might be, fodder for a show to find some Mexican cigars and try those out. Because like I said, I've had some good ones.
Yeah. I agree. And so as we come into, Denver is approaching very, very quickly. 2 weeks, 1 week, depending on when you're listening to this. But in Denver's case, out of the 4 of us on the podcast today, Tommy's going by car. So the 3 of us are going by air because it's frankly a 15-hour drive for us to do that. And I ain't doing that. But when you're traveling by air, things get slightly complicated, but nothing terrible. On one of my business trips, I took my travel humidor with me, and obviously a hard case is preferred over soft cases because of if you check your bag, it's going to get if you check your bag, it's going to get mishandled. There's no two ways about it. They get thrown everywhere. So hard case is preferred, or if you're going to do a bag, you need to make sure that bag is in the center of your luggage and wrapped pretty well. So if they do get a little squished, they're safe. But
take one of your old cigar boxes and put your cigars in there.
That's an option.
Protected.
Yeah, absolutely. But in our case for Denver, I know Larry's trying to push 1,000 cigars coming home and I'm going to be not far behind him. I don't know about Scott, and I don't know about what you're going to get, but
I'll be bringing the hand truck.
That bad? I want to see. When we went in 2019, let's face it, we were ill prepared, I think, because
Quite definitely.
Oh, we didn't know.
no, my luggage literally looked like it was 26 months pregnant because I had to sit and take an hour, and I did it for Scott's bag too. I had to take all the cigars, line them up, stack them very carefully inside the giant water pillow bag that they gave us. Oh, that's terrible. It's gone. Wow. You can tip the bottle back. We won't judge you much.
Where's my brown paper bag?
So
Ripple.
But one of the things that
2020.
Gin and Sacco, baby.
Boone's Farm strawberry.
y'all are disgusting.
Yeah, the real sad part about it is this bottle has a story to it, just getting off the beaten track.
No,
for a second.
please.
So a few podcasts ago, it wasn't just one. I don't drink that much. I went to look for my bottle under the register. Said bottle was gone. Apparently, I'd forgotten I drank the previous bottle. So about, what was it, like 5 minutes into recording, it was me like, fuck! And then I go run out. You're like, where are you going? Don't worry about where I'm going. Went down the street to the liquor store and picked up another bottle because that's important.
Yep.
At 7:15 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. And, of course, the Macallan's locked up in a case. So I got to find somebody at 7:15 in the morning going, hey, can I get into the liquor case there?
Hey, man, can I get you just one bottle? Come on, brother.
They
Help
weren't
me
even
out.
that. Oh, no. No, they're fully willing to help you. But I saw the judgmental look going, you're freaking drunk. 7:15.
Oh,
Should
you
be
weren't
used
drunk,
to it.
You weren't drunk then. You were just an alcoholic. There's a difference.
So
I'm a drunk, not an alcoholic. Alcoholics got to go to them damn meetings.
So when we flew home last time,
Breathe in.
it can't be like the bridge comment. I can't do that again. So when we flew back from Denver the last time, we were ill prepared, not knowing how many cigars we were going to end up with.
Right.
Between my clothes and everything, the luggage was pretty fat and pretty secure. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we flew carry-on, so everything went in the
I
overhead.
caught the Cigar.
The Cigar. Mm-hmm. Listen, Honduran. So, and Criollo. We flew home with checked luggage instead, or not checked, carry-on luggage. So it was a little bit better, but they still get jostled around at landing and takeoff. That's why this year, I don't know about you guys. I know you guys have made other plans too of I'm taking the bare minimum I need for clothing. Everything clothing-wise will fit in my backpack. That way the suitcase is just for cigars. Because if you've not seen 1,000 cigars, it'll fill a carry-on suitcase, no problem.
I'm just laughing at the fact, and I'm laughing at myself too. Here, I'm not just laughing at you like I normally do, but clothes, toiletries, who the hell needs those?
Yeah.
They got those in the hotel room.
I'm taking a duffel bag that all three of us can put all our clothes in. We'll check that. And then the carry-on, hard side carry-on bag is for cigars.
I like this idea.
I'm not just another pretty face.
Yeah. So, traveling by air, it's just a little bit of a different animal. Plan on, this is the biggest thing that I noticed, and I don't know if this has happened to you, but if you're taking cigars with you, fortunately, SAC International is fairly kind. They did, something did flag in the little scanning gizmo, and they had to look into my travel humidor. But fortunately, the guy that I got in the TSA, he knew what cigars were, and he even said, he goes, I know it's a cigar case. I'll make sure I'm careful taking everything out. I just have to look at the box. And I'm like, no problem. Cool. The water pillow or the Zycar puck or the Bovita bag, that does look funny when it goes through the scanner. So just be prepared and be patient that they're going to look at the box.
I don't know
It just
where
happens.
if you're going to Denver, I don't care where you're flying out of, but if you're flying home from Denver, check anything you want to keep. Because Laverne and Shirley at TSA in the Denver airport, hope you like my damn lighter.
I second that because they took my lighter too.
Okay, fun, happy tip here. And we've talked about this. Go to the post office or order from the post office. I think you can do that now. Invest in one of those flat rate boxes and bring that with you so that your cutter and your lighters that you're going to get as swag.
Yeah, your lighter fluid, all the stuff they give away.
Yeah. Shove it in there, seal it up, give it to the concierge at the hotel, and have them mail it home. You'll get it in a few days, and you don't have to worry about it. Speaking of lighters, when you travel by air, if you can avoid it, don't bring your nice lighters for a couple of reasons. You get a greater chance of losing it either at the hotel or where you are in your travels, or do what I did one time when I flew to Hong Kong. I had a really nice Zycar lighter in my coat, and I'm at SFO. They run the coat through, and they find the lighter, and, I wasn't going to be a jerk. I mean, the guy's just like, and he was actually genuinely sorry. He felt bad. He's just like, well, I hate to, take your lighter. It's like, can you just go back and, mail it or lock it up? I said, honestly, my flight leaves in about 20, so I don't have time. So, hey, just lesson learned. So, it was about $150 lesson, but, that happens. So be real cognizant of what you're going through the security checkpoint with, because your lighter will be gone and you'll feel less bad losing a $10 torch lighter versus anywhere from $100 or even worse, like, a limited ST DuPont lighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, that story, that happened 8 years ago, and that TSA gentleman at SFO is still every Sunday lighting his cigar with Scotty's Zycar lighter going, that was an awfully nice gentleman.
And, that happened to both Larry and I at Denver. My limited edition Balmoral lighter got nabbed, and you lost a couple too.
I lost two.
Got from a vendor. You got that Balmoral lighter actually from the vendor.
Yeah, vendor only. Can't get those as a civilian. And they took it, and it was empty. That was the even worst part. But this was something they were talking about when I was with Tommy a couple weeks ago in Idaho. A couple of the guys at the vault were mentioning. I don't know how true this is because I haven't tried it. But if you can get the $10 or less, the vault sells these little lighters with their logo on them. They're like $5. Oh, okay. They're 95% plastic. Those seem to be able to go through the scanner without being noticed versus any that are metal.
Well, with the new scanners, I think they check for organic material and chemicals. So that's kind of an iffy practice. Like I said, err on the side of caution, because, you may get lucky at one security checkpoint. And then another one, lose your lighter. So you're usually better off putting that in checked baggage, but not taking it with you onto the aircraft.
Yep. Now, but
Can I chime in real quick?
Yeah.
One of the gentlemen that frequents the vault left, the gentleman who actually gifted me this Don Pepin Garcia cigar, he's got a cigar that actually uses a canister that pops into the bottom that he takes to the airport with him all the time. Before he goes to TSA, he pops that out and puts a bunch of pills in it, in the canister in the bottom, and says it's his pill case. And it actually looks like a pill case, but it's actually a lighter.
Yeah, but see, again, that's the thing. You may be able to get that pass, but why even bother with the subterfuge?
Why take a chance?
Yeah.
Why take a chance?
I don't even deal with the subterfuge. I'm just like, hey, either mail it, check it, or whatever, and bring it. And like I said, bring a cheap lighter with you. There are some great, there's a great, here we have like a lighter. Was it $10?
Lotus for $10.
Yeah, it's a Lotus Tri-Flame for $10. You can't beat that price.
And you can stop by your local smoker-friendly store and pick up a Bic for $2.95.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're into the soft flake kind of thing. I like torches, but no, that's perfectly fine. You can light it with a Bic. Hell, in my desperation, I have lit a cigar, off the stove. I'm sure we all have more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you've actually used stick matches? Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
You're really going old school.
Shit, stick matches. I'm talking about liquor store matches.
Light the whole pack like you're starting an arson fire, and then just get your...
That's why I like you, Larry. You get me.
Wow. So before we hit our last topic, which is Rocky Mountain we have a tradition on this show, and
Do we?
We do, with guests. And we all know the answer to this question, but our listeners don't. So, Chainsaw, tell me about your first cigar smoking experience.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about me for the listeners. I'm a retired locomotive engineer that hired out with the railroad as a trainman in 1972, became a conductor 85, got my fireman certificate in 84, became an engineer in 86, and in November of 2019 decided I didn't need this shit anymore and decided to retire. The Wednesday, I actually retired on a Friday, November the 22nd, 2019, the day before my 66th birthday. And when I took my last train from Dunsmuir to Roseville, I put my power away, jumped in my car, came down to Tobacco Republic, and the local tobacconist, Craig, turned me on to one of the best cigars, first cigar and best cigar to this day. I got a terroir.
That's out of Chinook Cellars.
My Chinook cellar, a very creamy, mellow, it was full of flavor. I absolutely loved it. I still got a couple of them in my box. They're harder than heck to find, but that started my journey, and I've loved it ever since. Tobacco Republic will always be my home humidor. My local humidor, of course, now is the Vault, which is a lovely, lovely facility, which now has a full blast bar indoor, have a patio outside that you can sit and smoke on nice days when it's not 110 degrees outside. But just a lovely facility up here. But Tobacco Republic will always be my home. You guys will always be my brothers, and I've learned a lot just from the guys, everybody sitting around talking about cigars, learning more about cigars. But that's what got me started on the journey. I've set a goal throughout my life. I never smoked cigarette. I can't drink because I'm allergic to alcohol. But my goal was the day I take my last trip was going to be the first day I started a new journey. And that new journey was smoking cigars. And I've loved it ever since.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you.
It's been a good journey,
Thank you,
too.
my brother. Oh, it's been great. Learning a lot about a whole lot of different kind of cigars. One of them that Greg and I got to enjoy here in Idaho that is a very limited, very rare production was the Last Czar.
I hate you, by the way.
I know. By the way, I found the box.
Did you buy it?
Yes.
Good.
There's a bear shit in the woods.
I don't know. I've never seen one. I had to get that out before these two get it out. So.
We have no doubt that you've seen bear and deer. There's no argument there.
Just can't
They
shoot him.
probably walk by. Hey, Greg, shoot much?
Taking your gun for a walk again?
Pretty much. So I'm we have a segment called Story Time with Unky Larry, and you texted me something the other day, which was much to your detriment because now I've got you on the air. Tell me about the tractor, Tommy.
Oh my God. I was moving my sprinkler. I've got a single water wheel sprinkler, and I've been able to bring a pasture that it took my neighbor 3 years to bring back. It took me less than 6 months, and I've actually got grass growing. But I pulled my tractor up beside the water wheel to make an adjustment, and I didn't have the bucket down with the parking brake set, and it took off and landed in the pond.
How long did it take you to get it out of the pond?
Oh, I had to go to my daughter's house, get my four-wheel drive truck, come back, hook up a chain, and pull it out of the water.
Now, let's be clear. This is a brand new John Deere tractor.
No. Brand new Massey Ferguson.
Massey Ferguson, my bad.
With a bucket and a 70-inch mower deck underneath, and it went right into the water, clear up to the county.
Wow. I apologize for misnaming your tractor. It was described to me by someone who's colorblind. So, I assumed it was a John Deere.
No, it's red.
It's gray.
Red.
It's gray.
Yeah, it's a gray tractor.
It's a gray tractor.
Gray to you, but red to me.
Mm-hmm.
But, lessons learned. I'm just glad I wasn't in front of it instead of and of course, when it took off, I took about 4 steps and said, there's no fucking way I'm going to catch it. And she said, It's in order.
Oh.
My wife took away my submarine license.
There we go. Hey, look at the upside, Tommy. Lucky you had the pond, and you've been chasing that subbitch all the way to Missouri.
That'd be hysterical.
Tommy caught it when it ran out of gas.
Right through the middle of the Black's cornfield.
I don't think he'd appreciated that swap I would have left him.
That asshole Californian's plowing our corn.
So, the three of us have had the pleasure of joining, and the sad part is there were no he wouldn't take any photographs because he doesn't want me having the evidence.
Well, no shit, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't even have told your ass, but you know.
But he did. Okay, so the three of us have been to Denver. So, first question I'm going to roll out is to you, Tommy. You know, what, aside from you've heard, you know, me and Scott and Larry rant on about how much fun this is, what are you expecting to see when we go up there?
What I'm looking forward to is meeting the makers of the cigars that I'm smoking.
Yeah, that is.
Learning more about their operations. I mean, that is, I've had the opportunity to meet Oscar. I've had the opportunity to meet Rocky and talk mano a mano with them and just really get to know them one-on-one. I talked to Brian from Illusion over at the Vault. I talked to, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, from Colorado.
Pete Johnson.
And Keith.
Pete.
And,
Pete.
Yeah. But I've had a chance to sit down, you know, while things were slow and talk to them about their operation and what they are looking for in the future that is going to really perk up my interest even more in smoking cigars. And that's what I'm truly looking forward to when I go to Rocky Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the cool things about that show.
Yeah.
Is for as many people as were there, the vendors, whether it was cigars or anything else, were super excited about talking about their craft. And shout out to the guys at Prost Brewery.
Oh, we will see them again.
Buckle up, sunshine, because here we come. And we're staying at the Omni this year. There will be no driving anywhere. Y'all better bring some beer. That's what I'm saying. And Tommy, we might be utilizing that hand truck for transportation to and from the rooms. You know, just saying. But
it can be arranged. Baby.
Yeah, that was honestly for me, that was the best part.
Yes,
is, you know, the vendors, everybody was relaxed. They were having a good time. You know, we got the Island Jim walking around and talking to people. And if you're familiar with Island Jim's line of cigars and the caricature of Island Jim on the box, the man absolutely looks like that character. There is no problem distinguishing him in a crowd. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, without a doubt. He personifies the box, or the box personifies him. I mean, that's a man who lives his label. I can really dig that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I myself, I want to say, you know, I'm going to be all about business, you know, promoting the podcast and speaking to folks who are part of the press. We are kind of are, but you know, kind of not, because we didn't sign on as press, but I'm looking forward to meeting Matt and Garrett from How About That Cigar. We've interfaced a couple of times on the phone, and I was also a guest on their show last year. So looking forward to seeing them and talking some business and having a lot of fun too. So, you know, I probably won't drink quite as much until after the show. Never mind, I didn't say that.
Yeah, we all know how this is going to work. It'll be a repeat of camping all over again.
No. I'm now aware I cannot drink that much at higher altitudes. Will that stop me? I don't know. And this time I promise not to shank Dubnik with a fucking butter knife.
Yeah, I hope not. Just because he said he likes pineapple on pizza.
That's a damn war crime. We should put him before the Hague.
You know, talking about the group of Lumen Cigar Cartel, I strongly, you know, I don't know if a lot of people saw the challenge, but I'm challenging all the members and people that are on Facebook. Let's see what you're smoking. Post what you got going on. I mean, that's everybody. We've all got one thing in common, and that's the cigar. Share what you're doing with us. I mean, I
Right
want to
on.
know what you're enjoying, because I might not have thought about going that way, and it's one of the cigars at my local tobacco store that I can get. The one thing about the Vault is that they do a lot of boutique stuff. They got a boatload of Illusions, Kawade, but but what are you smoking? And post it. I mean, nobody's going to slam you for it. I mean, that's what it's all about. And then, of course, I've started a hashtag called Traveling with Cigars, and I encourage you, whenever you do make a post, put a hashtag Traveling with Cigars, because one way or the other, we're always traveling with cigars.
Yep. Entirely true.
Very good stuff. Well, now we're coming towards the end of the program. Let's talk about, we're heading to the end of our cigars. Let's talk about final notes on what you're getting out of your cigar at this point.
Well, Tommy, what you got going on with that Pepin?
Oh, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. I'm definitely getting that leather and cedar taste. I'm getting the hot pepper taste is starting to build up. I'm about 3/4 of the way through the cigar and truly, truly enjoying it. I wish the gentleman, when the whole box, that I'd love to go back and get a couple more, but hopefully Josh will be getting a few more in the next couple of weeks, and I'll be able to enjoy them more.
Well, it's funny, Tommy, you've smoked that cigar before.
Yes, I have.
In a different size, which we lovingly call the Time Suck.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. It's the Illusion, or the Don Pepin original exclusivo. It's a 50 ring gauge by 10 inches. The cigar is freaking massive, and everybody here has smoked one in one form or another.
And it lasts all the way from Winnemucca all the way to Jordan Valley.
Yeah, it's a great cigar for that long on the road.
Nice.
Yes, it is.
How about you, Greg?
I've said it before. I'll say it again. With Oscar, you can't go wrong. It doesn't matter what line it is. The cigar is fantastic. It holds its ash really well. It's definitely high on that take your ass to flavor country scale, probably around an 8 or 9 for me. They're just the Oscar line. It doesn't matter what it is. It's fantastic. You can't go wrong.
How about you, Larry?
That's one of my go-to cigars also is that Oscar Leaf. I love them.
Yep.
The Ashton is an excellent stick. They're a great line. The Cabinet Pyramid, no doubt about it. It's one of the best cigars I've had in quite a while. Had to touch this one up a little bit, a couple of times, but overall, still a great flavor, great draw. It's I'd have to say earthy on this, but and they tend to get a little bit hotter towards the end, which I think is indicative of a pyramid. But I love this stick, man. It's great.
Coming towards the end of this cigar that I'm smoking, the construction, upon initial inspection is very good. As I'm getting towards the end of it, though, got a little bit of loosening of the leaf, but I will sacrifice that for the smooth draw that I'm getting. Mm-hmm. For me, a great cigar is something that draws well, and I don't feel like I'm trying to suck milkshake through a straw. This has really masculine notes. I'd say like saddlewood, and that's been consistent throughout. And along with, and I've said this before about the Macallan, it has caramel notes, and it interacts with the cigar, this cigar in particular, very, very well.
That's funny you mentioned that. I think the Ashton may be a little bit light of a cigar for the Macallan.
Okay. Macallan's overpowering it a little bit.
Well, it's a little bit too much for this. This one might be a better lighter coffee cigar.
Yeah.
Or even a mixed drink.
Yeah.
But just a straight Scotch is a little heavy for this.
Yeah, I would agree. It's like the cigars with the more masculine notes work well with Scotch because you have a tendency to overpower. I enjoy Connecticut's, but, drinking Scotch with Connecticut's, the notes of the Scotch are going to overpower the cigar. That's just a fact of life. That won't discourage me from drinking Scotch with whatever cigar I'm smoking, but a mixed drink, that's a good idea. Something that's a little sweeter.
Yep.
Like
Caparania, maybe.
Caparania would be good, but even a rum and coke would be nice.
Even a scotch and soda, if you're pairing it,
Knock it down a little bit.
You're just taking the edge off a little bit. If you're smoking a Connecticut, something lighter for sure.
Yeah.
And for you, Scott, whenever you get a chance to come out here to Idaho, Sarah over at the Vault is just waiting to make you a Caparina.
You know what? Greg had mentioned that, and that's one of the things I'm looking forward to when I go to the Vault. Probably within the next month or so, I think we're going to make a trip down there. And
That would be
yes,
fabulous.
I definitely want to enjoy a Caparina with the folks at the Vault and you guys. That would be a treat. So I'm looking very, very forward to that. After the Denver trip, more than likely, maybe sometime in
definitely.
mid-September or so.
Probably either mid-September if we can squeeze it, or first part of November.
First part of November might work.
Well, come on up for my birthday. We will definitely have a party.
Oh, there you go. I like it.
Yep.
I like it too. I know that she's really looking forward to meeting you guys. I showed her your recipe, and she said not a problem. And I don't know if you saw the picture, but Sarah was gone the evening or the day that Greg and I was there, and she made a non-alcoholic drink in a pineapple frozen cup. That was just mind-boggling.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, you two
It
look
was-
fabulous drinking it as well.
Someone had to say it.
Pick on us all you want, Larry. It was fabulous.
Oh, I will. Don't worry.
Absolutely fabulous.
All right.
Definitely had a great time. I look forward to having you guys up here. If you bring a motorhome up, no problem. I got a 220 110 plug right next to the shop, and it's flat.
Nice. And it's
I'll
level.
keep you out of the pond, I promise.
I hope so.
Right on.
Sue's demise. Scott buries the motorhome in Tommy's pond. Sue will kill you.
Well, we'd have to drive it into the pond if we've been smoking cigars in it for 9 hours up to Idaho.
That's when you give me a suitcase and a English to Spanish translation book
There we
saying,
go.
we will delay until you make it across the border.
Yeah.
Mi nombre es Señor Robinson. Esta fugitivo.
Fugitivo. Wow. I'm not sure that's the right word, but
No.
it sounded good.
But it'll work.
When you bring it up, I'll make sure we got a case of Febreze here for you.
I'll be selling lobsters in Baja.
Yeah. Yeah, because those don't look counterfeit. Mexican lobster from a 6-foot black guy. Yeah, I'll take 3. God.
Well, as we
As we were talking a minute ago, I've almost got 3/4 better now, and I'm starting to get that pepper taste. It's definitely there.
nice. Well, as we wrap up, Tommy, final thoughts for you?
Well, I miss you guys. There's no doubt about that. I'm loving the video hearse that we've been doing, keeping in touch with everybody. Matter of fact, last night after Ray got off work, I came out to my gazebo and smoked a cigar with him. I'm just constantly keeping in touch and just loving you guys.
Nice. Larry?
But
Final thoughts? It's been a good day.
Yeah.
Start to good show. Nice talking to you, Tommy. This is the first time I've been on one of these where we had a call-in guest, and I wasn't really sure what to expect. As far as how we'd be able to hear and all that. I know you guys have done this a bunch of times, but this is my first, and yeah, this worked out really well. I'm really happy with this. Hope we do more call-in guest stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
one thing I did do that just a show note, I went to a headphone with a microphone right there on my lapel, and so no matter where I turn my head, it's always right there, and it's working out real good. I'm not just using the phone. I'm actually using a remote mic, and it's helping out a lot.
Good.
Oh, and no scratchy beard noise.
No.
And no scratchy beard noise. As a matter of fact, I had to trim my beard because I got to do a wedding this afternoon.
Oh, say it ain't so. Now we need pictures.
Oh, you get pictures on that one. You'll get
Good.
pictures on that one. Me and my tuxedo and my new top hat. Ooh-wee.
Okay.
Good God.
All right.
Hey, I still got that red suit for you, Larry.
Nice.
I hear that. Well, looks like my smoke is edging to the nub, and not only my scotch glass, but the bottle's empty, so I think it's about that time. I'm headed to the liquor store. I want to thank our audience. I want to thank our guest, Tommy, for being on the show. I'd like to thank my co-hosts, Greg and Larry. And let you guys know out there, thank you for listening. Check us out at LumisCigarCartel.com. Like and share us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Don't be a stranger. Let us know you're out there. Drop us a line. I'm Scott Robinson, and on behalf of everyone here at Beyond the Humidor, we look forward to chatting with you on the next episode. But until then, take care, and as always, stay healthy, good drink, good smoke, and good life.